You will have a benchmark exam on November 10th. It will cover all material that we have covered so far in 7th grade. And so this is your review. Number 8. What expression is equivalent to negative 3 over 4 divided by negative 8? Well, to figure out what expression would be equal, we have to remember the rule for division is keep, change, flip. Okay, so first, I'd have to make the negative 8 into a fraction. And I do that by putting a 1 under it. And then if I follow that rule, keep, change, flip, I would keep the negative 3 over 4, change the division sign to multiplication, and flip the last fraction so that the 1 is on top and the negative 8 is on bottom. Okay? Neither one of those show making that into a fraction. The third answer choice shows making it into a fraction, but it has a division sign. So this one is the correct one because it changed it to multiplication and flipped the fraction. Number 9. A diver needs to descend to a depth of 200 feet. She wants to do this in 8 equal descents. How far should she travel in each descent? We want to make that into 8 equal sections. That's division. So 200 divided by 8. 8 goes into 20. 2 times, because 8 times 2 is 16. With 4 left over, bring the 0 down. 8 goes into 40. 5 times, because 8 times 5 is 40. So it'll take her 25 descents to get to 200 feet. So 25. Number 10. Ben needs 1 3/8 yards of fabric to make 1 banner. How many banners can he make from 4.5 yards of fabric? So we're taking our total and putting it into groups of 1 3/8. That would be division. So the thing that we want to put first is 4.5 divided by 1 3/8. First, we need to do around the world to change those both to improper fractions. So 2 times 4 makes 8, plus the 1 on top makes 9 over 2, divided by 8 times 1, which is 8, plus the 3 on top makes 11 over 8. Then we have to remember our rule for division of fractions. Keep, change, flip. Keep the 9 over 2, change division to multiplication, and flip the fraction. And then we can simplify. 2 can be divided by 2, and I get 1. 8 divided by 2 makes 4. Now that we've simplified, we can go straight across. 9 times 4 is 36, and 1 times 11 makes 11. That's improper, so we're going to need to divide that out. Man, horse. Man goes in the house. Horse goes outside. 11 goes into 36 3 times with 3 left over. So that's 3 3/11. Because remember, the leftovers go on top, and the denominator is whatever it started out as. So the answer is 3 3/11. Number 11. The table gives the difference from normal monthly snowfall for a city. What was the average difference from the normal snowfall for the given months? If you're trying to find the average, you have to add up all the numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. So we're going to add each of these. You can either take 2 numbers at a time, Or we can put all the positives together and then all the negatives together. I'm going to go ahead and put all the positives together and then all the negatives together. So I have positive 4 and positive 8. Together, 4 plus 8 makes 12. So that's positive 12. And then I have negative 2 plus negative 3 plus negative 2 plus negative 0.5. Remember, we're going to have to line up the decimals. So 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 0.5. Well, I need to give everybody a decimal so that everything's fair. So that's negative 7.5. And then I subtract those two. So 12 minus 7.5. Again, 12 is going to need a decimal. And I'm going to have to borrow. So I got 4.5. Is it positive or negative? Positive, because the bigger number was positive. Now we have to divide by how many numbers there were. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 4.5 divided by 6. Remember the decimals right there. So 6 goes into 45 7 times, because 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract, and we get 3. Put another 0, bring it down. 6 goes into 30 5 times, with nothing left over. So the average difference was 0.75 inches. 0.75 inches. Number 12. Edwin pays a company $870 every 4 months to clean his office. How much does Edwin pay per month? So that's a unit rate. They want to know for 1 month. 870 divided by 4, because to find the unit rate, just like finding the constant rate, we divide. 4 goes into 8 twice. Nothing left over. 4 goes into 7 once, with 3 left over. 4 goes into 30 7 times, 2 left over. Put a decimal, a 0, and keep going. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Nothing more left over. But this is money, and money has 2 decimal spaces, so $217.50 is for 1 month. Number 13. Edwin again pays a company $870 every 4 months to clean his office. How many dollars does Edwin pay for cleaning over a 19-month period? Well, we just figured out he pays $217 for 1 month. So to figure out 19 months, I'd need to multiply times 19. First the 9. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry the 4. 9 times 7 is 63 plus 4 makes 67. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 6, 15. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 1 makes 19. Not done. Mark out the 9. Put down a 0. Multiply by the 1. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Then we add those up. when you get your answer, you need to move the decimal over 2 spaces because there were 2 spaces in the problem, so I need to move it over 2 spaces in the answer. So that makes our answer $4,132.50. Number 14. In a science experiment, the temperature increased by 0.1 degrees Celsius every 15 minutes. What fraction is the unit rate in degrees Celsius per hour? So we are changing the 15 minutes to hours. Okay, we had 0.1 degree to 15 minutes. That was our rate that they gave us. And we want to change minutes to hours. So remember, we multiply by the conversion fact. We're changing minutes to hours. So the conversion fact is 60 minutes to 1 hour. We can cancel the minutes. We can even simplify 60 and 15. I can at least simplify by 5. 15 divided by 5 would be 3. 60 divided by 5 is 12. And look, I can also divide 12 and 3 by 3. So let's simplify again. 3 divided by 3 makes 1. 12 divided by 3 makes 4. And then we can go straight across. 0.1 times 4 makes 0.4. And 1 times 1 makes 1. And there's a reminder that a unit rate compares 2 units, so I need to use words. That is 0.4 degrees per hour. It also says as a fraction. So what is 0.4 as a fraction? I hope you remember it's 4/10. 0.4 is 4/10, so that's 4 over 10. And we need to simplify. 4/10 would be, divide both of those by 2, we'd get 2/5. So as a fraction, this is 2/5 degrees per hour. The next question is very much the same thing, except it says decimal. And we already figured out that the decimal was 0.4. So as a decimal, it would be 0.4 degrees per hour. Must use the words if it says rate.